Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the KMB Music Den. I am your friend Keith.
I'm Brad, as always. You're the friend?
Oh, dude, I need all the friends I can get.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
And yeah,
I don't want it to be just you. I mean, no offense.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I tell you what, I think. Well, obviously they saw the title of the video, but everybody and their aunt is talking about the new Beatles song "Now and Then." So I wanted to hop on here with you, buddy.
Yeah.
I texted you a little while ago, kind of threw you a curveball here at the last minute, said, "Hey, did you hear the song? Let's jump on, do a quick video." This is regardless of our thoughts of the song itself, which we'll get to in a moment. This is kind of cool. I mean, this is kind of fun. I think it's kind of exciting. Um, that they decided to bring this song to the finish line after all these years. I won't go too in depth on all the history of how the song came to be, just because they put out an amazing little mini
Hmm.
documentary the other day. It's about 11, 12 minutes long. I did a little short on that as well,
Yeah.
actually. So if you want to know all the back history, check out that video. It's well worth watching. I will say about that video, it made me even more excited to hear the song today as the finished
Hmm.
product, and just gave me more of an appreciation for um, why do this, and how it came about. And I don't know. I just think if you're a Beatles fan, I highly encourage you to watch that little mini documentary. But hey, let's jump in here. As a song itself, all the backstory aside, when you listen to this new Beatles song, I put in quotes, what are your initial thoughts, Brad?
I mean, going into this, I was not sure what to expect. I'll put it that way first.
Yeah.
You had to bring this to my attention to really get me into the idea because in the world of AI, I've been hearing so many things AI and digitally reproduced, and I wasn't sure what exactly I was getting on this until I watched that documentary and realized how authentic this really is. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a Beatles recording.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's as much of a recording as any other band. It's just in separate buildings, separate times, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so going in, this is a new Beatles song. It really is.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It exceeded my expectations. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pretty much feel the same.
Okay.
And this it kind of seems silly for me to say this, because then folks could say, well, why are you even doing this video? But I almost feel like this song should just be more appreciated than analyzed, because just the fact that they were able to pull this together and take John's vocal from that cassette demo, and Paul and Ringo played on it, and George played on it in the '90s when they did the anthology series. By the way, I have to show off, of course. As a Beatles nut, I have all three. This one has "Free as a Bird," one of the songs
Hmm.
that they called together, kind of similar to this, but with they didn't have the technology at that time in the '90s. But and this one has the "Real Love" single, that was another unreleased song that they brought to the finish line. And then the third volume, the towards the end of the career, doesn't have a brand new song, but it's all the outtakes, demos, studio
Yeah.
bands. A must-have for Beatles fans. But that aside, yeah, you know I I think it's fitting that the final Beatles song is kind of um, slower, a little more contemplative, a little emotional. The lyrics are, seem very personal. Um, and I've been online today and reading different comments of people, and I think I would like to caution people not to pick it apart too much, because John wasn't around to help finish it. They did the best they could. I think they did a great job with what they had to work with. I see some people saying, well, Lennon had all these demos and he made a couple albums before he died, towards the end of his life. And, he didn't pick this song. So, maybe, he didn't want it out there because it's, there's not a whole lot to it lyrically. Well, yeah, it's an unfinished demo. So, of course, there's not a whole lot to it lyrically.
Yeah.
So I think they wanted to stay true to what he had there and not, go too far with doing their own thing. And, this actually takes me back to when you watch that Get Back documentary. Um, Obviously, none of this, we wouldn't have this song. None of this would happen without Paul McCartney.
Oh,
And
certainly. Yeah.
his vision, his work ethic.
Hmm.
A lot of times people shit on Paul about different things. Oh, he was a real master in the studio, and he was a ball buster and cracking the whip. And well, guess what, folks? We wouldn't have the album Let It Be, or we also wouldn't have my favorite album of all time, Abbey Road, if Paul wasn't there to crack the whip.
Sure.
So that's my thought on that. But yeah, man, I think it's a good song. I think it's a really good song.
I think you're kind of understating it, honestly. I mean, with this being an actual Beatles song, all four members playing on it, it's
Yeah,
a great song. I mean, I listened to it, I was like, son of a bitch.
yeah,
It's bizarre to me that within 2 weeks time frame, the two greatest rock bands of all time showed why they're the two greatest rock bands of all time. I mean, as we're
yeah,
sitting there just, how great that new Rolling Stones album was,
yeah.
here we are 2 weeks later talking about how great the new Beatles song is. I
You're
mean,
right.
it's
That's
amazing.
good.
I mean, we're talking about 2023, and two of our most upbeat, positive music moments of this year is the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
It's awesome.
It's amazing. It's
I mean,
amazing.
like I said, maybe I overreached a little bit, but I was so excited during our Rolling Stones video. I said, I just feel lucky to be alive right now, to experience this.
Well, it's a fantastic album. I mean, it's an achievement. And then I think this song as well, like, I kind of didn't expect to like the song. I thought this is going to feel like piecemeal together. It's going to feel
Yeah.
like studio magic, and it's not going to feel authentic. Listening to the song, it feels authentic.
Well, and
Whoever
some
put
of
it
the,
together did a great job.
I think everyone involved did a great job, including
Yeah.
Peter Jackson. I think, and maybe this is two separate things, and maybe I'm getting confused. Help me out in the comments here. But when I started hearing about the AI, the artificial intelligence stuff, and the Beatles and a new song, I thought that they were going to take like in some way, I don't even know enough about it, but have some sort of thing where it's like, okay, this, if the Beatles were all alive and still here today, what song would they write? And just put everything into a computer and it would spit out a song. Like that's what I thought. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have chips in our heads soon, and we're all fucked. It's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then when I found out it's an actual demo of John's, and then they were able to separate it with better quality and yada yada yada. Watch the documentary. Then I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Because that other shit is happening. They are having these fake songs come out, and I wasn't sure if there was going to be parts of this that was artificially added in. But like you said, when it showed them pulling John's vocals from the tape, from the demo, and being able to resolute it to where it was very clear, and I was like, wow, this is a record. I mean, this is not in any way artificial. This is very authentic and to the point.
Yeah, I think the song turned out great, like you said.
And,
There's always the cynics. There's always the people that are trying to find fault, and well, this was Paul's chance to just he took over and just finished everything the way he wanted to, and I hope no one's dumb enough to be saying this is a cash grab, because what the fuck does what do Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr need money for at this point?
No.
But I think this is a special, cool thing.
Yeah.
And it has been touted as the last Beatles song, and because of the vibe and the feel of the song, I think it's a nice period at the end of the sentence for them. And if they do unearth other tapes and things of John, I would just let it be. I pardon the pun, but I would just, if they wanted to release that stuff separately as like, hey, we found some John stuff. Here it is as is. We made the quality sound better.
Yeah.
And just for, completists and people who are curious about what he was writing towards the end of his life. But I wouldn't do this again. Like, this is a special moment. I would just.
Oh, I think this is just a one-time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you like to say, the walk-off home run.
Yeah. I don't think in any way this is, like you said, no cash grab. I think this was just an opportunity. They found out technology could get it to the point where they could create this song now. And why wouldn't you? I mean, you get to end your career on a positive note instead of what could have happened, So, I mean, like I said, we got two great things from two great bands.
It's amazing.
It is. Yeah, we live in a great time.
Yeah, we do. We really do. It was a bit of unfinished business for them too when they met in the mid '90s to do the anthology series and finish those other two songs. So now that they have the technology that could get this to the finish line, they rolled their sleeves, Paul and Ringo, and then the team that helped them, Giles Martin and Peter Jackson and everybody, and said, "Hey, let's finish this. Why not? Why not?"
Yeah, exactly.
I think it turned out great. So
I give him an applause. It was
yeah,
well
me
worth
too.
it was well worth putting the time in, getting the effort in there, and all the technology, getting it right, and making a you wouldn't want to put a half-assed Beatle product out as their last thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like they did justice to what they were putting out.
They did. And, honestly, regardless of what you have to say, what I have to say, what anybody has to say on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, just to hear Paul talk during that documentary about, and then we did this, and then we were so excited when we found this tape, and John's voice came through clear as a bell when they figured out this technology. He was excited to work on this and finish for John.
He was.
So it's kind of, to me, it's almost like a bonus that it's a great song. It was just like something that he felt compelled to do for his brother, and honestly, I think this one is more, everybody's enjoying it, but I almost see it as more for them than for us.
Oh yeah, for them, I'm sure it's cathartic and just it was a nice, like you said, put a little period at the end of the sentence. And for us, we got another Beatles song. So I mean, where's the loser in this? There's no loser. I don't see this was all positive all around for me.
Yeah. And folks, we're filming this on Thursday evening. This is the day the song dropped digitally. I know, I think it's either tomorrow or Saturday. I think it's tomorrow. I guess that's usually a new release day that they're going to release physical copies of this. I think it was like a 12-inch vinyl. And I thought I heard, and I think this would be a cool way to get it in this format just because of how it all came about. I thought I heard they're also releasing a cassette version of this.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think that would be cool. So
I'm
gonna look around and see. Actually, I was talking to my mom about this. She said, "Are they gonna put this out? Like, do you want it? I'll buy it for you." So I'm gonna see if I can snag it and take her up on that offer. So hey, folks, what do you think of the new Beatles song? My advice is don't overanalyze it too much. But then I'm also saying, put in the comments what you think. So I know I'm hard to read here, but but you know me by now. So thank you so much, Brad, for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely.
This is a moment in music history, if you think about it. And we got one more great Beatles song. I can't sneeze at that.
Not at all.
So for Brad, as always, I am Keith. This is the K&B Music Den. Please like this video, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel, smash the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time we drop new content. More reviews coming soon, more REM discology coming very soon, and we appreciate your patience at this busy time of year for both of us. And check out the new Beatles song Now and Then. See you, folks.
See ya.
Thanks, Brad. See you, buddy.